The broadcast is now starting.
All right, so when you first log into travel42, this is the page that you're going to see. You're going to see your dashboard. You're going to have any trips that you have created. Anything that you don't delete will still show up right here, so you can always reuse it if need be. And then you'll also have your travelers down here at the bottom. The trip plans, of course, can start out being very, very easy. You can just put information in a trip plan for research purposes if you're trying to let your clients know, hey, this is where you might want to go. This is some destinations that you might want to be at and some hotels you might want to stay at. And then it can get as in-depth as organizing the whole thing on the calendar, from the time they're going to be at a restaurant to what date they're going to be at a certain destination. You can even put information in such as their flight details, anything that might not be on the site as well. So first off, when you're searching for a destination, which is where I always like to start, is by the destination. You can find your hotels in the destination. You can find see and do items in the destination. Pretty much anything can be found in the destination. So we'll start here by searching for the destination guides, hotels, see and do, cruises, and more. I'm going to type in New York. You have two options when you type in New York. If you ultimately know you want New York, New York, you can click New York, New York. If you know the hotel name, you can type in the hotel name. Same with cruises. But I'm going to go ahead and click this magnifying glass right here so that I can pull up all the information that I might want to see that has the word New York or has any relation to New York. So like I said earlier, I want to start with the destination. I'm going to start with the broad New York as the destination guide. So I'm going to view details. You can also add this item to a trip plan by clicking Add Item. It'll then prompt you to turn it into a trip plan. So let's go ahead and click View Details here. I've pulled up my destination guide. I can apply a destination template if I know exactly what I want to add, or I can go through and pick and choose the items. I always include the overview, so I'm going to click on that overview. And now it's going to prompt me to add the items to a trip plan so that it can save them for me. You can add it to a trip plan you've already created or create a new trip plan. So I'm going to start pretty easy with this one. I'm just going to name this one New York. You do not have to put any names, any dates, any travelers. You don't have to put any information on this. The next step is the layout. You do have some choices in regards to the layout. In regards to maps and pictures specifically. Maps and pictures we know do take up a lot of space when you're printing a trip plan. So if you do not want them to show up when you print it or when you send it, you can opt to not include any of that information. For me, I'm going to go ahead and check those because I'm going to download this trip plan as a PDF and also send this trip plan to them via email. So nothing is going to be printed with this trip plan. You can upload an image if you would like, anything from your travels or clients that you've had traveling before. You can simply upload it or link an image to it. Next step is notes. You'll notice these are not displayed to the clients. You also have comments, which are under the trip details. Those are displayed to the clients. This will always show, so you don't have to worry about getting confused when you look at those. Next step, and then I'm going to click Create New Trip. All right, so I added all the overview information. If I go through and I decide, hey, I don't want the history in there anymore, I just simply uncheck it. You can also go down to the history portion and uncheck it here. Next, we'll go to see and do. You'll notice I have a lot of see and do options. Most of them are minimized. You can't see any of them, but if I click this little triangle to the left, I can pull up and unminimize anything I want to read. Now, since this is the broad New York, I'm not getting a whole lot of specific see and do activities. Once we get to New York, New York, then I'll get some more see and do, some more shopping, some more dining, information like that. But for now, I'm just going to add the recreation, and then we'll go next to the dining tab. Here's the dining overview. I'll go ahead and add that one. And you simply click on the box right here to go to that, or you can click the next right up here. So there's nothing in safety for this one. And let's see for tips. I always include the do's and the don'ts. And I'm going really quickly through this because I do want to show you guys how to organize everything in the calendar, but you obviously have to add information to a trip plan to be able to organize it. So I'm not going to go to hotels on this one, but when we get to New York, New York, I'm going to go through the hotels. So I'm going to click on Related. And now we are going to click View Details for New York, New York, because I want to see New York, New York, which is where I'm hoping that they are going to go on their vacation. So again, I'm going to add in the overview. Now let's go to See and Do and see if we have any options in See and Do. Oh, it looks like a lot more information here. So sightseeing. I have some historic sites. You'll notice these gold coupon items or gold ticket items, excuse me. Those are places or those are things that we highly recommend, whether it be a see and do item or a dining item. So if you add those are definitely recommended by us. But you'll notice this one has a lot more items. So if ever you get to a destination guide that doesn't seem to have a lot of items, always go to that Related tab, see some nearby areas that may be pretty close by that might have a lot more options to view. So next we'll go to Dining. Dining Overview, I'm going to go ahead and add in there. Local and Regional, I always add. Let's go ahead and add all of Local and Regional. Just because they want to get a taste of local and regional fare from that destination. But you'll notice there's a lot of other cuisines. You've got vegetarian, breakfast and brunch, cafes and tea rooms, etc. So there's lots of different options, and you do not have to pick all of them. You can go through and pick and choose the ones that mean the most to your clients. Safety, we'll add a couple of those items. Do's and don'ts, like I said just a moment ago, I always add these. These are very helpful tips that a lot of people don't realize when they're in a destination. Very, very helpful for people that are traveling, and your travelers can pull it up either on a printed document that they've printed out while they're traveling, or even pull it up via email on their phone, which is how I like to send it because it makes it a little bit easier. And if you send it via email, you can include a PDF. So they'll be able to print off that PDF if need be. I'm going to add the weather and then what to wear. Events is a cool tab to always look at. If your clients like to go on a busy time of the year, obviously July would be a busy time for New York. And then you might want to find a quieter time, maybe February, that may be a little bit quieter, that doesn't have as many events. Next, we will go to the hotels. You'll have all the hotels that populate. You can add item from the hotel section, or you can view details. You also have this little filter bar right up here that you can filter the hotels. If you have a specific star or amenity rating that you want to look at, you can pull those up by simply clicking on the stars. Same with amenities. You can search for the hotel by name, the hotel preferences. You have your locations and then your type. So you can filter by hotels by exactly what your clients want. I do have right here where it says show star rated only. This shows hotels that we have physically been to and reviewed. So if I uncheck that, it will pull up more hotels that are in our database, but they might not all have a review. So always keep that in mind. If you're specifically looking for a review, click that star rated only, and then you can click apply filters down here. But let's go ahead and start looking at some of these hotels. So I'm going to click view details here. Let's see what's all included. We've got our overview, our star review, property map, and then nearby hotels. So the overview includes basic info, the photo gallery, and then booking info, which is never included in the traveler's reports. I'm going to go ahead and click add overview items, and then I want to add the star review for sure. And you can simply click over here to the left if you want to navigate. If you wanted to skip the property altogether, you could go straight to the map and just add the map. I'm going to go in and just add the property because I like to have that information. It shows them room amenities and then hotel facilities, as well as dining that may be in the restaurant too. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. I have all of the information I want saved into my trip plan. I'm going to go ahead and exit. It's It's going to take me back to my New York hotel. So if I wanted to add another hotel in there, I could. Let's go ahead and add this one. And then you can also click delete item if you needed to. So if I decided I didn't want the first hotel I added, simply click delete item and it'll delete everything from your trip plan. Then I'm going to exit out of there. We're brought back to our destination guide for New York, United States. I'm going to exit, and then I'm back to my dashboard. So now I have my New York trip plan listed here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Let's see here, and this unfortunately is a bug, but it is being fixed here in the next couple of days. Only one destination is supposed to populate. Two for me, excuse me. I added New York and then also New York, New York. But this is being corrected. As you'll see over here to the left, I do only have 2 destinations. I have 2 hotels, and then I have my see and do activities, which you can see here. If you needed to delete anything that you've added, you can simply click delete beside of the item, or you can go over here and click the little trash can beside the item as well. Custom places, I was referring to adding airlines or anything that might not be listed in the site. This is where you would do that. You would simply click the plus sign. You can put in the URL of this custom place, say if it's maybe an airport or a restaurant that they're going to be going to that you weren't able to find in the Travel42 website, or you can just type in the information manually. So let's say the name, we'll say airport, place type. We have a bunch of different options in regards to place type, but I'm going to click airport for this one. Address, phone number, description. I put in the description as the flight number, maybe the time they need to check in, what information they need to have when they go to the airport, things like that, things that'll be important when they go to that custom place or that area that you added into your trip plan. So now that custom place was added successfully. You'll notice right here. So what I'm going to do now is go next to the Organize tab. You do not have to organize anything, but once they decide exactly where they're going to go, what dates they're going to go, you can put it into an itinerary for them so they know exactly what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. If you wanted to send it as is, just with the information that you have, you simply need to click these little dots right here and all of your options pop up. You can send, print, duplicate would just take this entire trip plan and duplicate it for you if you wanted a second one. Delete or save and close. But I'm going to go in and organize. So you'll notice it pops up on the calendar date that we're in. So we're in July. My clients are not going to be traveling in July. We're going to say November 2020. Destination guides. I'm going to go ahead and add those in there. So New York, United States is just going to be a reference for them. I'm not going to schedule that on the calendar because they're going to be physically going to New York, New York. So I'm going to go ahead and click New York, New York, drag it to the date that I want that they are going to be staying at or staying in New York, New York. And they're not going to be staying for a day. They're going to be staying for a couple of days. So I'm going to hover over New York, New York, click when I see the double-edged arrow, and then drag it over to the dates that they're going to be staying. So they're going to be staying until the 23rd. Hotels are the same way. If you wanted to click one Hotel Central Park, that's where they're going to be staying at. This one was just a secondary option that they had. So I'm going to go ahead and click one Hotel Central Park, place it on the 16th, drag it over to the 19th. Let's say they decided they did want to stay at that other hotel for the weekend while they're there. I'm going to go ahead and click on that hotel, drop it, and then drag it over to the date that they're going to be leaving. So now I have my destination and my hotels. You'll notice you can hide the scheduled items, which I have checked. So if I uncheck that, my destination and hotel will populate, but since I've already scheduled them, I only want them to show up on the itinerary. So I'm going to go ahead and click Hide Scheduled. So now I only have my one reference destination guide, no hotels because they've already been scheduled, and then my see and do activities. So for my see and do activities, which include historic sites, restaurants, etc., I need to have times of when I'm going to be going or when they're going to be going to these places. So I'm going to click over here to the day view. We're in month view right now. Then we have week view, and then we have day view. So let's go ahead and go over to our date where they are going to be in New York. We've got November 16th of 2020, which is their first day. I'm going to go ahead and go to the next day, which is the Tuesday, their second day. Now I'm going to click on my see and do items, which I'll see over here, and they are broken up. So you'll see you have dining and sightseeing. So let's see, for the first full day that they're going to be there, let's take them to Ellis Island National Monument. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag it over to 11 a.m. So we'll drag it a little bit further down. So I want them to be able to spend a lot of time there. And all I did was look for the double-edged arrow. If you need to make anything last longer, or if you need to make it more length in time, just find that double-edged arrow and you can drag it up, drag it down, or as you noticed when we were on the month view, drag it over to another date. So we've got Ellis Island National Monument. Now I'm down to 11 see and do items. We'll go ahead and put in a restaurant for them to go eat at. Let's say ABC Kitchen. They will be going at 7 p.m. Oh, and that's a good amount of time for them to be at the restaurant. So for the Tuesday that they're going to be there, they are good. I have their hotel. I have New York, New York, where they're going to be at destination-wise. I have the Ellis Island National Monument and then the ABC Kitchen. So you can go back up and go to the next day and schedule the next date's items. So let's go in here and put a couple of more things. Empire State Building sounds fun. We'll do that at 9 a.m. Drag it down, and then we'll pick one more restaurant for them to eat at. Let's see, Red Rooster. We'll do that a little bit earlier that evening. So we'll do that at 5 p.m. for Red Rooster in New York, New York. So let's say, I want to click on this and see kind of a detail of what I'm doing. So this will show you, instead of the map view, it shows you more of a list view of what you're doing. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All my items look good. Looks good here. I've got Tuesday and Wednesday booked. They wanted the rest of the time to do whatever they want to do while they're in New York. Those are the only items that they had me schedule for them. So now we need to see what we need to do about delivering it to them. So let's go down here. You can click deliver down here or deliver up here. Either way takes you back to the same place. So I've got New York. I've got my logo, my headshot, and then the information that I want my clients to see. Over here to the left, you'll see a summary of the items that you've added into your trip plan. So let's go over here to trip summary. The cover page was where I was just on. This is a picture that came directly from the destination guide that I added. The trip summary is exactly just like what we saw. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then it's got my 2 unscheduled items that I did not schedule in there. So let's take a look. Monday, we didn't have anything scheduled except for New York, New York, and then the hotel. But you'll notice all the information that I have has been scheduled under New York. And they do have all of the information listed. So they'll be able to see everything that you added under New York, New York. The only time that they'll see the scheduled items is if you physically put them on the calendar. So on Tuesday, this is where they will actually see by itself Ellis Island National Monument or the ABC Kitchen. If you just add it into the destination guide and just send that destination guide, they'll still see that information. So let's go here and we'll go next. And then we've got our Empire State Building. Perfect. And then Red Rooster. Let's see. And I got a question. I will go ahead and answer this one. Does it give prices of attractions? We do have some attractions that list prices. Now it is a general description of what the prices are for that attraction. But we do have the website and the phone number. I would always call before you go if you are physically trying to go ahead and book something. because it might be that it's in high season or that it's a little more expensive during that time period. But sometimes, yes, we do have a listed price point of what it may cost if you go to one of those places. So now I've got all my information that I need. I've added everything. I've itinerized everything, and now I need to deliver it to my client. So here you can click on send, find recipient by name or email address. So as long as you have them added under traveler on the home or on the dashboard when we first logged in, you're good to go. They'll be able to find that email address. So I'm going to go ahead and see if mine is in there, and it is. I'm going to go ahead and click there. Now, you can always click send me a copy, or if you don't want a copy of it, you can uncheck. You can attach a PDF proposal to the email as well. And then you can change the subject if you want. Larissa Worley has sent you a travel report. If you want it to just say Larissa Worley has sent you your New York trip plan. You can change whatever you want. In the subject of the email, you can edit that as well. You can click preview, but I'm going to go ahead and just send it because I'm going to pull it up from here. So we're going to click send email. Email sent. Good. We are good to go. Now, while I wait for that to pop up, I'm going to show you one more thing on the dashboard. So I'm done with this trip plan per se. But if I ever wanted to resend it or reuse this trip plan for anything else, I can. I can simply log in. I'll notice my New York trip plan here. You'll see the 3 dots are located here as well. So I can click on the 3 dots. I can open the trip plan, edit the details if I needed to change the name of somebody or change the name of the trip plan, view the travelers that I have on the trip plan, send, print, download, duplicate, or delete. And if you don't like this view of the trip plans, you can always do it in list view as well. So it's not as big on the screen with pictures, but I prefer to have the pictures listed. Oh, for some reason, my email is not. Let's try to send it one more time. Oh, that is why, because I spelled my email wrong. Goodness gracious. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and edit my email. And you can edit all the information you need for a traveler. If you have a specific traveler that always comes back and books with you, or maybe you know they're going to be coming back on a secondary trip, you can put any special needs, family info, miscellaneous items, phone number, address. You can go as in-depth as you want or not, or just keep it simple and just do first name, last name, and email. But if you're really wanting to build rapport with these clients, it's always nice to know kind of maybe what they liked on a previous trip plan, or what you know that they're going to like in the future, or heck, even put in like an anniversary, and you can reach out to them before their anniversary. Say, hey, I know your anniversary is coming up. Would you guys be interested in going to such and such? And then send them a destination guide or a hotel that you know that they might like. So I've now updated my email address. I'm going to go ahead and click save. Changes have been successfully saved. Now we'll go back to the dashboard. And then I'm going to resend this trip plan to the correct email address. Perfect. Hopefully this will come through a little bit sooner. There we go. All right, I just got my trip plan. So you'll see Larissa Worley has sent you a travel42 report. This was the second one, so I did not edit the this portion to say the New York report. So mind you, the first one was to the incorrect email. So you'll notice all my information is here. It looks like it came directly from me. I have created a detailed trip plan for your review. We'll pull up the PDF, and then I'm going to click View Online. Give it 1 second to pop up. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the PDF of my trip plan. You notice it's got all of my information, New York, New York, anything that I want to show the client, and I'll show you where you can edit that as well. The trip summary, it shows all the dates that we added as well as the information and then the page number of where they can be found. And then your client can pull this up on their phone as well. Now, it will show up on their phone. They can zoom in, they can zoom out. That way they have all the information in one place. So you'll see this is the destination guide that we added. Here is the hotel that they will be staying at with the map. And then, like I said, I did add the maps and pictures, so that's why you do see them on my PDF. You can opt to unadd them. If you go to that when we created the trip plan, the trip layout, you can remove maps and images from your trip plans if you want it to be more short and sweet. New York, and these are our unscheduled items. And then our photo galleries. We like to keep the photo galleries at the bottom just in case your client does want to print these items. They can simply remove the last couple of pages from the printer so that they don't print the pictures if they don't want to print the pictures. I know for myself, I have a black and white printer, and I know these would not show up near as pretty as they do on my computer screen. We'll go back up to the top and exit out of here. And now I wanted to show you guys our news and alerts tab, which you can find right beside the dashboard. So you can navigate over there. This has our IntelliGuide travel alerts. You can see up-to-date IntelliGuide travel alerts from all over the world. Anywhere there's any sort of alert or update or anything, you'll find that here. If you want to see more travel alerts, you can click up here as well to get into the IntelliGuide portion. We've got our sister products, Travel Age West and Travel Weekly with their blog posts. Up here at the Help tab, that's where I said you can go to find any of our recorded webinars, as well as any tips and tricks on using the new Travel42 site. You can head back to Legacy Travel42 if you did want to navigate the old site by clicking here. Now, if you click on your email address in the upper right corner and My Account, this is where all your information and your preferences are saved. So this, I highly recommend checking out anytime something changes or anytime you don't prefer the way things are shown to you or sent out. This is where you need to start. So you'll see my first name, last name, and phone number. If you guys want to take down my phone number, feel free. That's directly mine. You can put in your website, your email address, company, any destination specialties, your company logo, and then agent headshot. Always hit save. Then you can go up here to preferences, the client view, suggested retail price. This is something, it's optional. You don't have to include it in your trip plans. But if you wanted to say to your clients, hey, all this that I've done, that I've put together would normally cost this much if you were to buy it outright. You can include your business card, which was your information over here. You can include the cover page or not, and then include printed trip summary. So any of those items are optional. You can remove them if you literally just want the information sent to your client. But it does put a little more of a personalized touch on it when they actually see who has created this information, because it comes from you guys, the travel agents. We provide the content, but really the travelers see it as you're providing the content. We're just a platform that helps you put it all together. The report items. You can choose hotels anytime you add something. If you only want certain items, you can remove those. But really within the destination guide itself, it's very customizable. You can go in and pick and choose anything that you want. If you wanted to remove that history portion, if you wanted to add geography, if you simply just want to send the overview for New York, New York, you can simply send the overview for New York, New York. Same with a couple trip plans I've done. I've only added 3 hotels. My clients didn't really want to know about the destination guides themselves. They just wanted to see the hotels. Email. This is the header. You can change it here if you want this to show up for all reports, or simply change it when you send the trip plan. You can always click copy me if you always want it to be, if you always want to receive the trip plan that you sent. Attach PDF to email, any sort of personal message. You can change the closing, the way you search for items. I always search for the star rating. I like to see the highest star rating first and then go down to the lower. And then I always only want to see the star reviews. So I have that checked. If you uncheck that, you'll see all the hotels that we have in our database, including ones that may not have a star review. So that might be helpful for you as well. So let me go back here to business card so you guys can take down my name and email, or excuse me, my email address and phone number if you guys have any further questions. And let's see, I'm going to go in